What we want is our graduates to be adequately prepared for the world of work, and often that means frequent hands-on duties, often with athletes, teams, coaches as well. As a consequence of that, most of the lectures that we deliver are delivered in 5-hour blocks, but the session is split in half. The first half, we will talk about the theoretical issues around a particular topic, of course all based around the athlete, the team, and maximising success. And once we've spoke about the theoretical content, the latter portion of each session is dedicated just to practical experiences. This often means that we're in various laboratories around the university, essentially putting one another or athletes through their paces when we're utilising various bits of equipment that they are likely to be using when they graduate and hopefully gain employment. By the time our graduates complete the course, they are very well prepared for a range of these practical duties that they have to complete as part of their role with the athlete or the team.
So the practical elements of this course is really wide because it covers a lot of topics which are so relevant in the real practice right now on the course, and we've been trained to do on-field injury management and so much more.
Yeah, so our students will get a lot of practical experience on the MSc programs. That might be going out and actually working with athletes, and a lot of their assessments will be based around that work of working with athletes. We'll also get students working in the lab quite a lot, taking practical measurements that we think are really vocationally relevant. So those students will be taking measurements that we would expect them to do when they're working with maybe athletes or clinical populations.
Throughout the programme, there are many opportunities for our students to engage in research. The principal means by which they are involved in research is one where they complete a research proposal for a particular module, the research methods module, and essentially during that module what they're doing is they're looking at the research, looking at contemporary issues within the research, and then from that they're planning and plotting what they might explore.
There's a lot of opportunity for research. There is injury management and so much more which we've been trained for, especially when we can use the equipment which we are privileged to have at the university, because it's one of the world-class equipments provided to us, and at PG level that gives us a great boost for career.
So a big part of the MSc programme is conducting an independent research project, and that student will be required to come up with a research idea, design a study, collect some data and present it in a way that you would write a journal article if you're publishing a bit of work in sport and exercise sciences.
In addition to that, there are 2 other modules whereby the individuals are asked to engage in mini projects, I would call them, and again it's about them thinking about how they might design scientific studies based around sports medicine or performance analysis or sports performance science, all in the interest of not only maximising their grasp of science but also how science might be used to the benefit of an athlete or a team.
So for me, I always wanted assessments which kind of like mix with my interests of studying at the same time doing co-curricular activities, and the assessments in my course are amazing. They're just very quick and really relevant to my practice.
We look at what our graduates have to do in the world of work, and then we tailor our assessments to ensure that they near enough map onto what they're expected to do as part of their roles. Sometimes our students are working with equipment, looking at how effective that equipment is, how effectively that equipment is doing its job. Is it reliable? Is it giving valid numbers that we can trust? In addition to that, we've gradually moved away from long essays, which might have been the case in previous years. Again, recognising that in the world of work, our graduates aren't writing long essays for the athletes or the teams, and as a consequence of that we have more presentations, there's infographics, there's posters, there's technical reports, there's oral examinations. So our assessment plan or assessment strategy, I guess, is very varied, with one eye on the fact that we want them to be doing things that will prepare them for the world of work.
The course will involve elements of sports medicine, of physiology, of psychology, of nutrition, of strength and conditioning, and that's really important because we know employers want students to be multidisciplinary. Being good at just one thing isn't enough anymore if you're going to work in sports science.
The great thing about this course is, yes, it is very multidisciplinary. I have my peers from my course who are not just physiotherapists, they are physicians, and all of us together are trained to work in the field together with the coach, with the athletes, and that's the primary goal of the course.
I think students can expect to get a lot of support from staff when they study on the MSc programme with us. Students will be assigned a personal academic tutor at the start of the year, and students can talk to that personal academic tutor throughout the year about a variety of different issues. We also make ourselves available for tutorials with students for several hours each week.
The class size is really compact, and at the same time it focuses on the individual itself as well, and the overall inclusion of everyone in the course makes it so much more extensive to learn together.